What is BitMetatron? A lot of people are very curious about the first and only CeFi and DeFi community ecosystem project in the crypto industry. So what is BitMetatron? Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who feel shortchanged by the current banks around the world, by the financial institutions, and for those of you who is looking to fight back to the gangsterism of the financial system, to the market manipulation in the crypto world, this is the project for you. By combining CeFi and DeFi, what we have today at BitMetatron, it's the security of a DeFi project, the transparency, the stability, and the safety of your own assets. And when we add on the CeFi aspects of this thing, what you see here is that we can prevent any off-ramping of assets by malicious actors, by hackers across the world. So in the BitMetatron ecosystem, what we focus to do is to have a revolution of the current digital financial system. If you look back at all the financial crises across human history, 1971, President Nixon decided that he wanted to do away with the gold standard. Now with that, you realize your dollar, your fiat currency becomes an inflationary asset. Your dollar gets smaller and smaller by the year because central banks can just keep on printing money. And in 2008, the financial crisis, also caused by financial institutions, by central banks, reckless printing of monies and causing a lot of people hardships across the world. So even today, even if you're not affected by the pandemic, which I bet 99% of you out there are affected, your assets are ever depreciating, ever decreasing. So at BitMetatron, what we seek to achieve is to help everybody on our platform harness the power of our technology to increase your assets, to make your assets safe. If you look at BitMetatron, the birth of BitMetatron, you realize when we come in, we are against the current system. The world is full of lies and chaos. If you look at the 2008 financial crisis, you realize endless printing of money, it's causing everybody hardship. If you look at how the stock market works, it is always the big players, the financial institutions who are making money, and it is always the retail investors that get hurt. What we want to hold close today, it's us as a community. As a community, we can band together and we can grow our assets independently from financial institutions, from abuse by governments. If you look at BitMetatron, our birth, it's based on the sacred geometric known as the fruit of life. If you look at the Metatron cube, this Metatron cube itself, it's the precursor of math, the precursor to physics. It is the birth of life. So at BitMetatron, what we are giving you today, it's a birth of a new era, a birth of the era of the civilians, of the average person, people who work hard every day and yet have their assets drained off, cheated by financial system, cheated by market manipulation. This is the platform for you. This is the platform done by people like you, for people like you. So if we look at how the BitMetatron system works, we are a community born from the deep web. We have white hats, we have hackers who have deep knowledge of the internet, who can do excellent security. We want to protect the assets of all our members. So in today's learning, it is very important for you to realize and understand how the BitMetatron ecosystem functions, how you are going to make your assets grow on the BitMetatron system. We want to look at 3 chapters, right? BitMetatron itself, we have planning. We have huge planning that allows our community members to monetize. to monetize their assets. So we are right now at chapter 1. We call this the awakening process. Time to awake. We have already launched our BitMetatron Dapps, and a lot of your assets growth comes from our high technology BitMetatron USDT trading bot, as well as the very, very important quantitative trading bots. We will go into details on the bots trading and how they can generate assets for you. Now, we will be going into chapter 2 and chapter 3, whereby we will be listing on centralized exchanges. We will have a payment gateway system and a public energy consensus chain. So with that in mind, very quickly, I want you to awake. It's time to awake. It's time to put your money where it's worth with. I just want to share with you, for those of you who have been trading cryptocurrencies, you always saw in the news people making money from cryptocurrency, people turning $100 into $100,000. What you do not see, it's people who have lost their funds. What you do not read about, it's people who got rug pulled. Market manipulation in cryptocurrency, it's real, it's there. And we all know the cryptocurrency industry, it's unregulated 24/7 trading. If you look back not too long ago, just back in 2020 in March, there was a major plunge for Bitcoin from 15,000 to 3,000. This single correction within a single day caused a lot of retail investors to lose their life savings. It caused all the over-leveraged positions to be closed. So how do you want to prevent that? How can you prevent the cryptocurrency volatility? You are not able to do so. Community members, wake up. We cannot prevent market manipulation in the cryptocurrency world, in the financial stock markets as well. What we can do is to protect our assets through sustainable growth. So with that, it is very important today for you to understand how the BitMetatron energy depth work. So first thing, everybody who signs up, you have to go onto the BitMetatron website. You can link the BitMetatron depths with your Tron wallet. When you do that, when you sign up, everybody starts off at a civilian level. Now, how do we start? By getting our energy, which means I am depositing my USDT. The amount, it's relatively small and simple for you to do as an initial startup. Or the civilians, they can choose in denominations of 30, 60, 90, and 300 USDT. When you deposit the amount into your DApps, you have to convert them to the energy matrix. And this is where the fun starts. This is where you start to see your money start to work for you. So we're going to go into this, all right, just to take note for all kinds of deposit on the BitMetatron dApps. It is TRC20 and ERC20 supported, but when you want to export them, when you want to withdraw, bear in mind it is only transferable to a Tron wallet. So here is the very interesting thing. How do we start making money? As I mentioned, all civilians, when you come in, it's 30, 60, 90, or 300. Now, when you have a cumulative stored energy of 3,000 USDT, you automatically become a spiritual leader. The interesting part of this is when you become a spiritual leader, your maximum involvement is raised. You can now put in up to 9,000 USDT, right? And how do I take back my initial 3,000? If I have a retained energy of 3,000, when my entire community, when they have a cumulative energy of 90,000, I could take back 100% of my 3,000. So here is how it works. This is very interesting. When I become a spiritual leader from a civilian, right, I have to progress. There are 5 types of spiritual leader. The first one being fire, V2, 3, 4, and 5 being earth, wind, water, and ether, respectively. So you're gonna ask a question, all right, how do I become a spiritual leader from a civilian? How do I start making money from this? ecosystem. Before we talk about how do we grow your assets, you first have to understand the growth process. How does a civilian becomes a spiritual leader? Now, when I become a spiritual leader with a 3,000 cumulative locked assets, I am a V1, right? So when I want to become a V2, which is earth level, it's very simple. I just need to have 3 downline of different regions, meaning to say I have one spiritual leader in any of the 3 different regions within my community. Take, for example, I bring in 3 friends, A, B, and C, right? So independently of each other, as long as anyone within the community of A and B and C becomes a V1, I automatically evolve into V2. So the energy matrix, this is where the fun starts. This is where how do we start making money? I'm going to start with the minimum, all right? If I am a spiritual leader, there are 2 ways for me to start to make my USDT work for me. And just in case you are wondering, how does the USDT make money for me? It comes from our trading bots. We have 2 kinds of trading bots, a USDT trading bot and a quantitative trading bots. So 2 ways, but before we go into the details, within the BitMetatron system, our energy expansion falls in cycle of 6 days. Now, for you to easier understand this, if I were to deposit 300 USD into the energy matrix, all right, on the 2nd day onwards, from the time I deposit the 300, every single day for the following 5 days, I will be getting back 21% per day. So if you work that out, on day 1, it's 0. On day 2, it's 21. By the end of day 6, I will have 105% of my $300, which works out to be a net profit of 5% from the trading bots, right? Option A, it's very straightforward. I deposit 300. I start making 21% per day on the 2nd day onwards. And this, it's for a single cycle. Community members, take note, in a month, there are 5 cycles because there are 30 days. And for 6 days in a cycle, we will have 5 cycles a month. And that works out to be a monthly earnings of 25%. So this is very straightforward. Now, option B, it's very interesting. In option B, it is a matrix in the loop. The system automatically purchases another matrix loop for you every other 5th day. So on the 5th day, when I put in 300, on the 5th day, I would have gotten back enough energy for the system to automatically purchase another 300 energy matrix. So if you work that out, if you work out options B, based on the cumulative earnings, my monthly earnings can be as high as 45%. Now, one thing for you to take note is that when your energy matrix is inactive, when you have 0 energy, you will lose out on all kinds of community energy. What is community energy? We're going to talk about that very shortly, but just to make sure you do not lose out on any bonuses, on any special energy matrix, do keep your account consistently active, right? You need to have at least a single energy matrix running to ensure you do not lose out on the rewards. So what are the rewards? We have 4 kinds. We term them the connection energy, the referral energy, level of energy, and peer energy. We're going to go into that. It's really simple to understand. You do not need to get confused by so many types of energy. It is very direct and straightforward. So the first kind of the community energy we have here, it's the connection energy. What does the connection energy mean? It means that anyone that is connected to you, be it your first connection or second or third, you will be getting 0.3% of all your 1st to 5th connections. Now think about social media, right? If I have A as my friend and A brings B, B is a friend of A. So A, it's my first connection, and B would be my second connection, right? So if I can have 10 or 50, I can have unlimited first connection. You can understand first connection as your direct friends. So if I have 10 direct friends, 10 of them are my first connection, and friends of my 10 direct friends will be my second connection. So within the connection energy matrix, you are entitled for up to the 20th connection, which is very huge. All right, so just to recap, for the first to the fifth connection, you will be getting 0.3% of the energy matrix, on which we illustrate the example here. If my first connection converts 300 in the energy matrix, I will have 0.3% of the 300, which is 90 cents, right? And if we do that on a monthly cycle, which is 30 days, you will essentially be earning a passive income of 27 USD in energy for that single connection itself. Now imagine your single connection all the way to the 20th connection. It could have tens of thousands of people, and the connection energy, besides what we have seen at the first with option A and option B on your passive income, the connection energy, it's something that brings you an unlimited source of wealth. Your community data, it's where you can monetize your data for yourself. You no longer have to get your data monetized by Instagram, by Facebook, by big tech. Today, we want you to monetize your own data. So we have the next kind of energy, the referral energy, which is very straightforward. For any one of you, as long as you have a direct referral of a single spiritual leader, you will get a one-off energy bonus of 300 USDT. So if you work that out, this in the range of about 10%, because we all know for anyone to become a spiritual leader, they have to have a store or retain energy of 3,000, right? So as long as I have a single V1, I will have a one-off energy of 300 USDT. So this is the second kind of referral energy. It's very straightforward. Now, the very interesting thing that we have, we call it the level of energy, and it goes up with your rank. All right, so if you are a V1 spiritual leader, you will have 1% entitlement for your energy matrix on your entire community. And if you are a V5 today, it goes up to 5%. So how does this level of energy works? We have an example here. We have two, in fact, all right? Take, for example, you have a civilian within your community that converts 300 in the energy matrix. Now, if you are V1, now check back, remember V1, that's 1%. So if the civilian below you converts 300, you will get 1% of the 300. And this is not one-off, because in a single cycle, it's 6 days. So in a month, there are 5 cycles, which means that you will be getting 5 times of the 3 USDT per month for that single civilian. Now, bear in mind, if you have 50 or 100 community members, this amount can go up exponentially. Another thing to note is that this energy matrix has a differential rating. There is a conversion rate. So imagine today, if you are a V2, right? If you are a V2, you have 2%. Now, if someone below you, it's a V1. If you have a V1 below you, the energy matrix will automatically deduct whatever the V1 gets, and the balance goes back to you. So if I'm a V5 and my friend is a V1, a civilian converts 300, my friend will be getting 1%, all right? And how much would I be getting? It will be 5% minus off 1%, and I'll be getting 4%. All right, so this is a very interesting way for you to build your community, right? And remember, if you do a self-conversion on the energy matrix, everything belongs to your referral, your top referral, which that doesn't goes to yourself. So whatever you will be getting from your community, not yourself. Take note of that. And the next thing, The question comes in, what if I'm a V1 and my direct friend, it's also a V1, right? Officially, I would not be getting anything, right? Because 1 minus 1 is 0. Now, in this case, if your friend, it's a V1 and you are V1, if someone below him changes 300 into the energy matrix, well, he'll be getting 1%. We all know that. What about you? All right, we have a special bonus. It's called the peer energy, whereby you will be entitled to 20% of whatever your first connection is earning. All right, so this is what we call the equal energy of peer energy. As long as someone who has the same rank as you, no matter how much he earns, you will be earning 20% of how much he is earning. So this is very straightforward. This is short and simple. Now, the monetization plan, people are going to ask you, a lot of the community members are very curious. Now, how can BitMetatron generate 25 to 45% in terms of bonuses for my account? How is this possible, right? So we want to look at statistics. As I mentioned, the team, it's from the deep web. We have access to state-of-the-art technology. When we built the bots, we back tested it, and very interesting for you to note, the BitMetatron USDT bot, we have only 3 pairings for it. And if we do a back test, look at the dates here, from May 2018 to December 2020, our rate of return, it's astoundingly high. All right, if you look at the different kind of bot pairing. Now, this is only for the BitMetatron USDT bot. I have yet to talk about our quantitative bot. The reason why the BitMetatron USDT bot, it's able to consistently generate positive returns over a period of 2 years, despite the dump, despite the crypto winter, it's that our bots are not simple grid trading bots with parameters. Our bots, it's a self-learning bot. You can call it artificial intelligence. It's more than that. We program our bots to self-learn. And this bot itself will only be eligible for our leaders who are V3 and above. All right, so if you want to have the BitMetatron USDT bot as a separate entity that generates additional income for you, you can apply for it when you are a V3. And what is the best thing about using the BitMetatron bot? It's that it is a bot that belongs to yourself. What you need to do is just to link the bot to your exchange of your choice API. Right? If you're using Binance, you can use the bot to trade on your Binance account. So the funds are within your own Binance wallet. Nobody can touch your own funds. The bots and the funds belong to yourself, belongs to your Binance account. And because our bot is not a futures trading bot or not a margin trading bot, you do not run the risk of liquidation. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where a lot of people get killed. They get wrecked when they have over leveraged position. And when the correction comes deep and when the correction comes hard, the bots, if you are on a leverage position, your position will be closed. So for our bots, it's only spot trading. All right, we do not charge any form of commission for the bots trading. If you look at the market right now, all kinds of bots, they do charge you 20 to 25% commission on your profits. So we do not charge any form of commission. This is the greatest gift. It's a form of thank you for our V3 and above. All right, and bots trading 365 days, 24/7, there's no rest and there is no contract. You can choose to turn off or turn on the bot at any time. Now, one very important thing to note that we only allow up to 30,000 in fund for the bots trading on the USDT pairing with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Link. All right, so for those of you who are V3 or who are looking forward to become V3, let this be your first primary target. The next monetization plan, and this is even better. if you think that 25 to 45% a month is good, the reason we are able to consistently generate profits like this is through our quantitative trading bot. Well, you know that in the market, most of the quantitative trading bots are using the martingale system. The problem with the martingale system is that when the market suffers a major correction, your bots will not have any more funds to carry on trading. On the BitMetatron quantitative trading bot, we have added on additional parameters. We have added on our AI with human-in-the-loop infrastructure. And if you look at a short period of time, now I want you to recall, all right, in the very first trading bot that we have over a period of 1.5 years, we are getting rewards of up to 1,700% on each trading pairs. Now, if you look at the quantitative trading bots, this is astounding. In only a period of 3 months, we have 500%. In only a period of 3 months, look at this. These are all actual real statistics on Binance, on accounts that are using our quantitative trading bots. And this trading bot, it's only open to our top spiritual leader, which is V5. All right, so just to recap, how do I become a V5? All right, from V4, as long as I have 3 separate V4 within my community, I can become a V5. And once you become a V5, this bot belongs to you. You can use it for your own trading, and it's the same kind of advantages, no liquidation, no risk of embezzlement, and within the quantitative bot, the maximum tradable goes up from 30 to 50,000. All right, so it's very handsome rewards. If we're talking about 500% in 3 months for every 50,000 that you put in, you can expect to see way more, right? 500%, 5 times, you can expect to see 250,000 within a period of 2 to 3 months. So this is also 24 hours a day, and it is only open to our V5 leaders. So right now, today, in conclusion, we have spoke about chapter 1, which is the awakening. I believe a lot of you have already seen our beautifully done official video. Take note of the timeline, all right, because in August, this is where our global sales page comes out. This is where we have a special program for our spiritual leaders. And in September, this is where our leaders will get to attend events together with us. We have a lot of events coming up. We have crypto hunting games. We have an online educational school. Online school, it's very important because a lot of traders today, a lot of crypto community members today do not have enough knowledge. When you do not have enough knowledge, this is where you risk losing your funds. This is where you risk getting into rug pull projects. So that is it for chapter 1. We will look forward to chapter 2. We will go into that in the next video, and chapter 2's white paper will be released very soon. For those of you who are already in the community, this is the information we have. I want you to visit our DApps on BitMetatron.io. When you register an account, you can enter the referral ID at the top of this video. All right, key in. Without the awakening code, without the referral ID, you are not able to open an account. So remember the awakening code, and we will see you at the next level.